Hey everyone, welcome back to Unorthodox Cricket. Now last night's game in the Cricket World Cup sealed Pakistan's fate. They failed to make the semi-finals. I made a bit of a rant video last night just because I was so angry about their approach to the game. Pakistan knew that they needed to beat Bangladesh by 300 runs to qualify for the semis, and they didn't really make an effort. So I've said my piece on that. If you want to take a look, I'll leave a link here. But otherwise, what we're going to do today is we're going to take a look at that game between Pakistan and Bangladesh. So I'm going to take an objective look at that game and just ignore the fact that there was a potential chance for them to qualify for the semis. So we'll look at it just as a whole game of cricket and see how that played out. Secondly, after the game, Shoaib Malik announced his retirement, so that's huge for Pakistan. He's been such a great servant for them over the years, so we'll just pay a bit of respect and take a look at his career. And then finally today we're going to take a look at the game between India and Sri Lanka. Now there's not much riding on this game. Sri Lanka are already out, but for India moving forward it's a good chance for them to test a couple of things, keep players in form and really just put their best foot forward for the semi-finals. So taking a look at last night's game between Pakistan and Bangladesh. Now I made it very clear last night how unhappy I was with the way Pakistan approached the game. But for today, what we're going to do is I'm going to just take a look at it as if it was any other game of cricket and hold back my own personal opinion. So Pakistan won the toss and they put 315 on the board for the loss of 9 wickets. Imam al-Haq top scoring with 100 and Babar Azam scored 96. I can't go on enough about how good Babar is and how underrated I really think he is in terms of world cricket. I've said it before, I think I'm going to continue to say it until he finally gets the recognition he deserves, but he's an absolute class player and you're going to see a lot more from him in the future. The pick of the Bangladesh bowlers was the Fizz yet again, picked up a second 5-wicket haul for the tournament, 5 for 75. Now a little bit expensive, but if you're taking wickets, that's fine. If you're going to take 5 for 75 every game, I think your captain would be more than happy. Now in return, Bangladesh were 221 all out. They were quite competitive at one point in the game. They really looked like they might have a chance when Shoaib and Mushfiqur were going. But when they got out, things fell apart pretty quickly and they fell a large margin short. So the pick of the batsman, yet again, Shakib Al Hasan. What a World Cup he's had. He top scored with 64, but he's just so good. Ever since he's moved to that number 3 position, he's been so dominant with the bat. And you know what you're going to get from him with the ball. He's just such a class player, and he's going to go down as one of the greatest all-rounders of all time if he keeps going the way he has been. So, just so exciting. He's been around for so long, but just giving him that bit of extra responsibility with the bat has proved wonders for his game. And with the ball, young Shaheen Shah Afridi was the pick of the bowler, 6 for 35. He really struggled at the start of this tournament and then he's come back so strongly and he's going to be such a good prospect for Pakistan moving forward. They've got to put a lot of resource into him. They've got such good players there. You can see why they will be competitive. Both these teams are going to be strong come the next World Cup. It's just whether or not they put the structures in place to support these players and maybe get the tactical parts right, Pakistan. So after last night's win for Pakistan, Shoaib Malik announced his retirement from Pakistan. Now he leaves behind a 19-year career with them, absolutely massive. 35 test matches, 111 T20 internationals, but the main one he's going to be remembered for is his 287 ODIs. Now what a career that's been, just shy of 20 years and so much cricket in there, and he's given a lot back to the game. So in his ODI career, he's taken 158 wickets to go along with 7,534 runs at an average of 34.55. Now, as an all-rounder, to amass over 7,500 runs with 150 wickets is pretty impressive. Not only that, but he scored 900s and 44 50s. And over Shoaib Malik's whole career, he scored over 10,000 runs, taken so many wickets, and if you look at his first-class record, that doesn't fail to let you down either. So thanks so much, Shoaib Malik. I'm sure the Pakistani fans appreciate you, and so does everyone else around the world. You've done so much for the game. So it's going to be sad to see him go, but hopefully over the years he's inspired plenty of young Pakistanis to do the same, and hopefully we see a couple of young up-and-coming all-rounders come through in the next few years. Now just taking a quick look at tonight's game between India and Sri Lanka. Not a lot to be gained here for either team. Obviously, India are going to want to maintain their form, and Sri Lanka are going to want to leave the World Cup on a high. So a couple of things for India moving forward. I think they're really going to want to see KL Rahul work on his last innings. Scored 50, but they're going to want him to kick on and maybe pick his strike rate up a little bit, just so they've got a bit more faith in him come semi-finals time. Rishabh Pant, he's played the 2 games, started slowly in the first, looked a lot better in the second, so they'll be hoping tonight he can kick on even more, go past 50, just look a whole lot smoother and just add a bit more solidarity to that middle order. Another one, they've got to decide whether they go with Kedar Jadhav or Danish Karthik for that middle order 5 position. They haven't known all tournament who's going to play there, so for them it's going to be interesting who they go with tonight, and then who they do go with tonight, if they perform or don't perform, are they going to drop them for the semi-final? It's a really tough one for India, and probably one of their biggest concerns right now is this additional batsman's position. And then finally for India, they're probably going to want Kuldeep Yadav or Chahal just to really work on their game. A couple of games have been a little bit disappointing. I think we all know they're great players, so it'll be good for them just to get back out there, roll their arm over, and hopefully find a bit of form ahead of the semi-finals. And then for the Sri Lankans, obviously they just want to leave the World Cup on a high. So for me, it's going to come down to personal preference. I'd love to see Kusal Perera go big at the top. He's an exciting young player. He's explosive. He plays all his shots, so he's so exciting to watch. So I'm really hoping he can come off tonight. Put the Indian bowlers under a bit of pressure, which will be good preparation for them come the semi-finals. But for me, if he comes off, that'd be fantastic. And the other guy I'd like to see perform again is young Fernando. He's had a great World Cup. He looks like an awesome prospect for the future. So I'd love to see him score more runs and just continue on his development. Now that's all for today, guys. Pretty short, not a lot in the cricketing world. Please let me know what you guys thought of the Pakistani approach to the game, if I was out of line. Also what you're excited to see in tonight's game. And if you've got any particular memories of Shoaib Malik, share them in the comments as well. But thanks again so much for watching, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow.